what you see on the slide is the wedding photo of my great-grandparents, and that was taken here in Pittsburgh in 1910. And I didn't know until 1.5 years earlier who the other people are who are standing on the picture. And now I would like to ask the first of our authors to the stand, who will reveal who the couple was next to my great-grandparents on the wedding photo. So, Frank?
Well, thank you very much, Reka, for that wonderful introduction. And thank you, Anna and Kati, for inviting me. And hello to the live audience and the thousands that are watching on television. So, who are those two people? Well, about a year ago, I was sitting at home in Tampa minding my own business when I get a social message from Reka, whom I did not know. It said, "I think we are related." I said, "How can this be? From Hungary? Somebody that I don't even know?" Yes, I think my great-grandfather is the brother of your grandfather. And she sent me this wedding photo that you just saw. And I recognized, I never met my grandfather, but I recognized my grandmother. That's her, Rose, right here. We were at her grave in Calvary Cemetery yesterday. And Reka put a nice flower on it with the Hungarian ribbon. So that's how I came to this party. Other than that, I'm an oddball here. I don't speak Hungarian. I've never been to Hungary. I've been mispronouncing my last name for all my life. It's not Deak, D-E-A-K. It's not even Deak, which I used to say. It's Deak. So Reka's been correcting me on my Hungarian pronunciation. So that's how I got here. One of the things we did yesterday is visit my grandmother's home in Hazelwood, 223 Winston Street. This is my grandmother here tending her garden in about 1967, 68. That is her tenant, Mr. Vaught, who lived up on the second floor there. And I used to come to Pittsburgh to visit her from my college. Do I dare say it? Penn State, arch rival of Pitt. Another strike against me there. And that's my grandmother sitting in her kitchen and in this very house in which I think they bought the house around in the 1920s. And now it's been painted. We saw it yesterday. It's painted blue on the outside. It looks very nice, actually. And yeah, she cooked wonderful chicken soup, stuffed peppers, holupki, all these kind of dishes. And she said, "Franklin, you got to eat, be strong." Yeah, these are some bonds that my grandfather bought, apparently. 100 kroner, is that what they are? And this is Rose Deak, is the lady, my grandma, and these are her kids. My dad on the left, and my aunts and uncles. My mother always said, "Your dad has been an impatient man." My grandma had 2 children who died in infancy of respiratory diseases. In 1912, she was pregnant with my father, and she decided it would be better if he were born in Hungary than here. So she booked a passage out of New York to go to Hungary, and somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, my dad said, "Time's up, I'm coming out of there." So he was born. The captain gave him a $10 cash contribution to his life. And on his passport, it says, place of birth, latitude, longitude, so many numbers. And I guess it was a question, is he American or is he Hungarian? And he stayed in Hungary for 10 months. We know this because the Ellis Island records show when he came back in at the age of 10 months with his mom. Of course, Dad stayed behind in Pittsburgh. He was the oddball brother, too. Your great-grandfather took his money and went back to Hungary and bought land. My grandfather stayed here all his life in Pittsburgh. Oh, here they are. This was, prior to this year, this was the only picture I had of my grandfather. There he is holding my cousin Donnelly and my grandmother holding my cousin Barbara. Barbara's the only of that generation who's still living. She's in California now. That's in the backyard of 223 Winston Street, which we saw yesterday has now been made concrete, a parking lot for the owner's car. In 1995, we had a Deak family reunion, sorry. And these are all the Deaks, or whatever their names might be. We had that reunion. It was a wonderful reunion, and the only one we've ever had. Yeah, this is a great document. I think maybe you have some of it in the book.
Yes, so you can read some of it in the book.
Yeah, wonderful recollections published by my two cousins who organized the whole reunion.
Thank you so much, Frank, and compliments on the Deak pronunciation.